Hey everybody, it's me, Andrew, and this is going to be a monthly reading for the month of November. And so for the month of November, I'm doing something a little bit different. I am going to be using one deck per week, and only one deck per week. So that means for my daily draws, that means for um, except for readings with clients, I'm going to, unless because they might need a specific reading, but as far as personal readings and stuff like that, I'm going to be using only one deck per week to really get to know the deck a little bit more. So the deck that I'm going to be using for the monthly reading is the Enchanted Map Oracle Cards, and this is the deck that I'm going to be starting the month of November with, and I've picked one tarot deck and one Oracle deck to use because I have, I think, two new tarot decks. So for the first 2 weeks, I'm going to do a tarot deck and an Oracle deck, and then after that, it'll be just Oracle decks. So I'm going to be doing the Victorian Fairy Tarot, which I don't have with me right at the moment, and the Enchanted Map Oracle. So I'm really, really excited about doing this. I love doing the monthly readings. And for November, the first card will be for the first 8 days because there's one day before the first full week. And the last card will be for the last 8 days because there is one day left after the last full week. So that's how that's going to work. And I'm just going to shuffle these cards. And I'm filming this a little bit earlier because I don't know what the end of October is going to hold with Halloween coming and the holiday starting at work, so I'm going to go ahead and film this so that way I can just post it later on. So I'm going to do this card for the first 8 days. That card for the second full week, that card for the third full week. This card for the last 8 days. So first 8 days, second, third, last 8 days, and then this card wants to come forward as kind of an exclamation point. So we have 5 cards altogether. So for the beginning of November, we have the Dragon's Lair card. And this card really talks about being protected. This card talks about knowing that you're protected along your journey. I absolutely love it because you can see, there are stairways going up to the very top. There are red eyes right here. So what this card is really telling me is that we've started a journey, and this year has been a journey, and we're nearing completion of the journey that has been 2014. So we're kind of moving our way up the staircase, but there's still fear of the unknown that's kind of right there, kind of at our heels. But this dragon up here is protecting us as we get closer and closer to the top, which is the end of 2014. So we're kind of rounding things out. We don't have very much longer left in this year, so just know that you are protected the very first week of November as we start winding down this year and winding up the holiday time. So the card for the second week in November is Moonlight, and the moon to me always represents intuition. But in tarot, the moon card talks about deception, talks about things not quite being as they seem. And there's an owl here. You can see, and owls normally mean wisdom, and you can see there is an hourglass. And there's kind of a fairy, and she's kind of holding herself, kind of like she's sad. And so the second week of November is going to bring a little bit of kind of feelings. But just remember that everything happens in divine timing. So things that don't seem quite right, things that you may have thought something else was going to be coming, and you find out that it was going to be delayed, or something happened with your perception, or something is going to happen that's going to challenge your perception of some things in the second week of November. But just remember to use your discernment. That's what the owl is there for. and realize that everything happens for a reason. You know that everything, and it's so cliche, but it's so true, that everything happens in divine timing. And you may seem really, really sad. You may seem really, you may get really kind of heartbroken, but don't let that defeat you. It's like my boss at work says, don't let it defeat you. So it's going to be a challenging week, the second week of November. But just remember that, like the first week, the very first card says that you're protected. So keep that in mind as we keep going through these cards. So the card we got for the third week of November is the Compass, and this is the card that inspired the artwork for the back of the cards. So this card really talks about divine direction for me, and I'm just using my intuition and going off of this. It really talks about being on the right path and being asked to be shown the right path, as well as things you may be missing along the way. Compasses guide us to where we need to go, and I feel like you're protected during the first part of this month. You're protected always, but this card is really emphasizing you're protected the first part of November. The second week of November is going to be a little bit challenging, but the Compass card comes up in the third week saying that you're going to find out why that second week was challenging, because it's steering you to a different direction. It's steering you to a different path. And it's not a bad thing. It's a really, really good thing. And just keep in mind that you have to keep asking for guidance from God and the angels and anyone else that you would like to ask for help from. So, for the last week in November, we have unexpected visitors. And there's a bunny, and there is a mushroom, a frog, and it kind of reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. This card talks about surprises. It talks about maybe there might be something that is, and I actually love what the guidebook says about this card, because I actually drew it for one of my daily draws one time, and it was absolutely amazing. So I'm just going to read. Everything in life is a teaching tool for. Oh, wrong one. If you expect the unexpected, you'll be prepared for miracles. I love that. I couldn't remember the exact wording of that. But so really expect the unexpected. Expect the magic and the mystery and the things that are going to happen to happen, and start thinking positively and manifesting those things, because it's really going to happen for you. I promise. This isn't a bunch of hocus pocus. Stuff is really going to start happening for you. And so the overall theme of this month is slow and steady. And what this is saying is, because I'm getting that things are going to kind of, November is going to be a really tedious is a little bit too strong of a word. It's going to be an intense month for us all. And this card is saying just to remember to slow down. Remember to sit back and be thankful for what we have, and not to try to force things along. So this was actually a card that I drew yesterday as kind of just like a general card. But yeah, definitely. November is going to be a really interesting month. So just remember, starting out, you are very protected. You're always loved and protected and cherished. The second week, things might get a little bit rocky, but in that third week, you'll see why. And then you'll see what path you're supposed to be on. And then the last week is going to be full of miracles. It's going to be full of magic and things that are unexpected. So you're going to do great. It's going to be okay. And I'm always here for you. And I look very forward to November. I think it's going to be an amazing month. And I also look forward to working with my Enchanted Map Oracle Cards for a week and getting to know them. And I extend this challenge to you as well. If you have multiple decks like I do, sometimes it can be really difficult to get to know every single one of them. Take a week every week, starting in November, and get to know each one of your decks, because I guarantee you're gonna love it, and I'm really, really excited about it. So I love you guys, and I thank you so much for your views and for your likes and for your comments on my Facebook page. It really means a lot to me. And I wish you a very, very happy November, and I will see you guys in my next video for my weekly reading, and I may be posting some card review videos in between those. So have a very, very, very blessed November, and I'll be seeing you periodically through the month on YouTube and every day on Facebook. So angel blessings. I love you guys. Bye.